Oh, he will be.
He won't be.
Oh, won't be, okay.
Oh, is he in the South Pacific?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he went on a diving vacation.
Okay. He's like my wife. Been all over. Where'd he go? 4 o'clock?
15 seconds. He, I don't know, BG something.
Did you miss the race?
Did you stay there? No, we were there for 3 weeks, so we were there Monday.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, so we got to see it. That's nice, staying down there.
Yeah. I have 4 o'clock.
It was nicer.
Yeah. Let's call this meeting to order of the Redevelopment Commission. We can all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First thing up is the approval of the minutes of the last meeting. I assume you guys have all had a chance to look at that.
Yeah, I was there, I looked through them, they look fine, I make motion to approve them as
I'll
presented.
second.
Okay, Joe made a motion, Mike seconded that we approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, new business, the agreement with NIPSCO to expand gas services to the Millworks project. Jeremy?
Yeah, so this is formal approval of that NIPSCO gas service extension, or I should say relocation. So right now, there's a gas line that runs down the middle of the old Owens property, and it needs to be moved in order for the new development to be built. So in order to do that, there's some additional gas lines that need to be ran, and the cost to do that was just under $44,908.48. So this is for officially approving that contract. I know we emergencyly approved it in order to keep that project moving. They're supposed to start, if they haven't already started, here shortly, so.
Jeremy, it says a contribution in aid of construction.
Yeah,
Was that a prescribed amount?
that was a
A
prescribed. amount.
prescribed contribution?
That was a prescribed contribution.
Okay.
So,
Was there any rhyme or reason to that, or was there materials?
It's based on service. So they did a service estimate, because most of the building's not gonna have gas, it's gonna be electric. But there is a commercial space that could potentially have a restaurant and have gas service in it. So that's what they based that model off of. So basically you have to pay to relocate the line. For the most part, I think it's a pretty fair price for us, considering that they're actually redoing a lot of the downtown pipe. Gas line is gonna come all the way and end, not just outside this building or across the street. So a lot of the downtown gas line will be replaced and upgraded and create a loop, so it'll work out nicely.
So it's kind of based on future access.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I didn't think the amount was bad, that's why I was
No.
wondering how they came up with it.
It was based on the service potential of that building.
good question. Any other questions?
And most of that building is gonna have, is gonna be electric.
Yes.
They're
it'll
not
all
gonna have
be
any
electric.
forced gas.
Nope,
forced
all electric,
air.
all electric heat,
I'll be darned.
all the above. The only thing would be the gas service to a restaurant space.
Jeremy, will there be other considerations to NIPSCO for electric service that we'll
Yes.
have? Yeah.
Yeah. That is in the works. However, timing-wise, it's not nearly as important as the gas, because the gas line runs right
Has
down
to
the
be
middle of
done
the
now,
property.
yeah.
The only thing they will have to do is drop a three-phase at that location at some point in time. But they won't even start that process until you have the meters. Well, we haven't even started constructing it, so the meters won't go on the building for another 8, 9 months, 10 months from now, so it'll.
Is that underground service or is that all above?
I think it's all above. I don't think there's any underground service there. Yeah. Now, they may bring underground into the building, but it's all on poles now.
Yeah.
But they'll probably drop and come in. I doubt they would go across, but they may go aerial, I don't know. My assumption is they'll go underground, because there'll probably be a bank of meters, so they'll probably go underground to service those meters.
Do you know why they would want electric heating and all that? Is it because of
Yeah.
safety, you think, or because the prices seem to be higher?
I think it's probably just easier to have electric. I mean, from a maintenance standpoint, the cost may be more, but from a maintenance standpoint, it's probably less.
So, I know we're getting in the weeds here, I'm just curious, more than anything.
And when I say, I'm talking about construction, think about having to run forced air all through the site versus
Well,
electric. And then if you have all electric appliances, everything's electric, it makes it simpler.
Will some of this be geothermal and, okay.
No.
I didn't know if that was powered by electricity to,
No, it'll be all electric, but you'll have electric washer, dryer, so,
yeah, I think George and I were thinking about, the big heating
yeah.
and cooling.
No, yeah, but I think that's why they're doing all electric, because if you're already gonna have electric range, electric, dryer, washer, it just, from that
And then-
standpoint, there's no point in having a gas here, gas there. And then having to run that all the way through the building if you have different options, so it's just cheaper if they just go all electric.
That's interesting.
I'd make a motion to approve the agreement as presented.
All right. Joe
Since
is-
I signed it, I'll have to second it.
All right, I saw that you'd signed it, so. We have a motion and a second on this. So I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the agreement with NIPSCO, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, sounds unanimous. So, thank you. Next up is awarding the bids for the demolition of 330 North Buffalo.
Yeah, so a few months back, we acquired the 330 North Buffalo Street. Since that point in time, they've moved out, and we went after some quotes to demolish that property. We received 3 of them. One in the amount of $10,900, which was the low bid from Steve's Hauling and Excavating, which is what we're recommending to approve, and then Everest Excavating was $16,000, and SAR Excavating was $24,341.
So you're recommending going with the,
Yeah, the low
Low.
bid, Steve's Hauling and Excavating, for $10,900.
considerably lower.
Jeremy, have we used him before?
We've used him for other things. I don't know that I've used him for demo.
Yeah. I don't remember
Building
that
and
name.
planning has, but we've used him for some other things. He did some work on, so I think some of the sewer connections when we did the airport annexation, airport industrial park annexation in that sewer line. He did some of the hookups out there.
I thought I've seen his name on
Yeah.
something we approved in the past, but maybe Board of Works. Well, Jeremy has a recommendation to go with Steve's Hauling on this. Any other questions or anything?
Difference. in estimates.
8, 16, and 24?
Yeah.
Well, between 10 and 24.
Next got 3 things, yeah.
that's what you recommend, Jeremy, I'd make a motion to go for it and approve it.
Okay, Mike has made a motion.
I'll second it.
Jack has seconded it. Thank you, gentlemen. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor of awarding this bid signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, it has passed unanimously.
What's the time frame on that, Jeremy?
Probably within the month.
Okay.
Once we notified them that it's approved, they can get started. I think it'll go pretty quick.
Jeremy, that's just the house,
Yes.
not the structure behind that the city
No, no, no,
owns.
we already own that structure.
Yeah.
Just the house.
Be nice to have that out of the way.
Well, we'll certainly reduce my complaint load.
I had a conversation with Jeremy, you know, for that amount of money, it's not even worth considering trying to save the house and rehab it and reuse it.
Yeah, I think.
The fire department, I told Mike, the fire department wanted to do some training in there. They went in there and said that it's in so bad shape, too bad shape to even do training, so they're not even doing any training in it.
So there's no way.
Okay.
That's a good testimony.
It has,
You know, Jeremy, as I think about that, I was made aware a while ago from another mayor in another community that they had a problem when their fire department came in to train, because if there's asbestos and they come in and start cutting it up,
Cutting it up,
it
yeah.
creates a problem. I want to pass that along.
Yeah, they had asked if they could do a controlled burn, and I was like,
I'd like to see that,
I'm getting like weekly complaints to tear the place down. I can just imagine they're out there setting it
a
on
controlled
fire.
burn.
Yeah. That's probably not good. Well, item number 3 is financial reports for 2024, your draft.
Yes, so you have this year's financial report. This will be presented in April. We'll advertise to all the taxing agencies for that April meeting. But it gives you a month to review it. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to sit down and talk about it, or if there's any changes that we need to make. Come April, we'll have to do the advertisement for that meeting and send it out to all the taxing agencies, but that's when we'll officially hold the public hearing portion.
Of course, you'll have a new listing of commission members with Jack on it, and officers and stuff.
No,
right?
so keep in mind, this is for last year.
Yeah, I'm just making sure, yeah.
So next year they'll be on it, but so this
That's
has been
right,
from last
yeah.
year's members. Next year the new members will be on it.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
and my initial observation was all the numbers look good. You know, we ended the year with more than we had at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
with one exception.
As always, a good report, looks good. You don't need any action on that?
I don't need any action, just review it. Anybody, feel free to email, call me, come in and see me if you have any questions between now and April. Between that point, I'll finalize, send out the notice to all the taxing agencies, and we'll hold a public hearing on it at the April meeting.
So April's you have to have it done by
Have to have it done by April 15th or 16th, yeah.
tax.
This is just a report. This doesn't contemplate whether or not we have pass-through available or not. I mean,
It does not.
You're
so-
building your case for
I'm
that.
building the case for
Yeah.
it. So we also, before June 15th, I think, we have to send out a notice to all the taxpayers or taxing agencies that we will not be passing through TIF before June 15th or 16th. So we have to do that yet as well. Yeah.
Okay, next item, approval of claims. Jeremy, you want to bring us up to date on these?
Well, we have a couple of NIPSCO claims for the Marsh Building Times Union claim of $170,000 for advertisements for public meetings. HRP.
$170.
What did I say?
Not 170,000.
No, $170.
I saw him sit up.
Get mentioned for that.
$170 for the Times Union HRP, $3,325, and $111,293.45. This is for the Northern Lift Station. Baker Tilly in the amount of $2,262.50 for ongoing financial consulting for our bond issues. DLZ in the amount of $850. What is that for? Okay, it's for the yeah, so as we do the airport park design work. Vern Mitchell, $2,500. This is for appraisal for the 36 acres out by the airport. West Hill Development, $42,000. That's our monthly lease agreement for the Shell building. $120 for my cell phone service. Indiana American Water, $477.88 is for the Marsh building. Times Union, $42.88 is for advertisement for the Redevelopment Authority. And then Kedco, $300 is for the lease for
Peak Med.
Peak Med. Yeah.
Do we have that appraisal back yet, or is that?
I
just
did. I
pre-paid?
just got it
Okay.
last week.
Okay. Just figured you had that.
I need to reach out to the property owner, but I came back kind of where I thought it might. So we'll see how our negotiations go.
And Whitney, thank you for not putting every stinking NIPSCO page in here.
I only deleted like the fourth page of each one.
Are we done finally with that lift station, Jeremy?
We are, except for I think there's still some outstanding
Claims that got to be paid.
I saw them asking for release of the lien, right? Or is it-
Yeah, well, and what I mean by that, there's a couple of payments that were made that the state's SRF is supposed to cover, and I don't know that they,
I think they have.
have they finally
I
paid those
think
out?
so.
Okay.
Man, what a project.
It was indeed a project. But the good news is it's done. Sewers to the airport, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We'll probably connect into it with the airport park project at some point, so.
It looks like the retainage is all you got left,
Yeah.
so.
And that was because we were waiting on NIPSCO to get the power hooked up, because they had to come under the railroad. So I think the only thing left is the startup of the generator. But I can check on that.
How close are they? I know those homes are going up. When do they anticipate occupancy?
I don't know. But I imagine at a best case scenario, you're 3 to 4 months for construction.
Sure.
So I think they started maybe a month ago, so probably maybe 3, maybe 4 months from now, they could start.
Early summer, midsummer?
Yeah.
That's good. Any other questions or comments about the claims for March? If not,
I'd make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Okay. Motion by Mike to approve the claims.
I'll second it.
Okay, Jack has seconded it. Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion unanimous. Let's see, any other business?
Nope.
George, I just want to publicly thank Jeremy for his work on these redevelopment commission reports. You know, this work was mandated by the state many years ago. These are very, very incredible reports, almost like a bond booklet, and there's a lot of great information in there. I would more than read through it once or twice. I'd kind of keep it as your guide as you move through the year making decisions, because it's all there. This is the black and white of what we all do. Mayor, I know you've had a chance to look through it, and a lot there. But thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate every minute you put into these things, because it's mandated, which doesn't make it wrong, but it requires that you do what you do, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a good exercise, especially right before budgets come up, because then all the information's there, and it makes it a lot easier for me to do budgets, because I can see all the money we've expended, the projects we're working on. So yeah, it's helpful. I mean, it's cumbersome at times, because then I have to take that and then input it, because I can't just submit it to the state. I gotta input through their little system. But the nice thing is,
I didn't know that.
once it's there, it's easy, because then I'll just turn the pages and input. But it's not a big deal. But by doing all that, it makes it a lot easier for for me to input it into their system, and B, for when we start doing budgets here in the next couple of months. So a lot of good information there. Just keeps you informed on. I mean, you approve all the claims, but it's nice to see kind of what you all did last year, and then what the budget is for 2024. And then as we move into 2025's budgets here, 3 months from now. So keep that. I always tell you guys keep that, because it's kind of your roadmap for the 2025 budget.
So since this was a draft and there were no comments on it, will it end up being the final?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys got a month to read through it. Even if you want to come in and sit down, just let me know.
I printed out a copy, but will we get a hard copy when?
It's up to you guys. I used to give hard copies, but then I think most of you didn't want it, so it'll just go on your library. But I can do whatever you want. So if you want a hard copy, let
I
me know.
always like to have hard copies, 'cause
I'd like to have one,
I can do that.
yeah.
I probably
I
would.
normally don't, but this is something that I think I should keep
Yeah.
handy,
you can access it.
yeah.
Okay. Hard
Make
copies.
notes
will-
on it.
Yeah. I probably won't include, because the actual has to include every property too, which adds another 30
Oh,
pages
that.
to it.
That I probably.
So I won't make copies of that.
There's 29 pages if you want, so
Yeah.
29 pages.
And then, so the state requires every parcel, so when I have to upload all those parcels into the, which,
That's just an appendix, though, isn't it?
yes, it's an
Yeah.
appendix, so I won't make copies of that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
And
not
if for
really.
some reason one of us wants to look up a property or something, we have that.
It'll be on the final digital draft that'll go in the library,
Okay.
but just to save some trees, and we won't print that.
Save the city money on that copy paper. So, all right. Any other new business or comments or anything? Mayor?
Well, what Joe mentioned, the dues and the bid, I remember late Charlie Smith telling me the Redevelopment Commission grows is where you can really get a lot of things done. And as a council member, being a part of the city with Jeremy's leadership, and just a reminder of all the dues and the bids and things to look forward to in the future. So I appreciate your work, and back to what Joe said, Jeremy is, we are so fortunate, his leadership and his work for the city and the entire community. Thank you.
Yes. And kudos to Joe for being willing to serve after being the mayor all these years. It's a wealth of information here, and it's almost intimidating to have him here.
Oh. Well, I sure don't want that. Thanks, George.
That's good. It's good to be challenged and intimidated. So,
Kind of grew up with that, didn't you?
I kind of, yeah. Seventh child, that's for sure. But, all right,
Yeah, you had 6 sisters, didn't you?
4. Three.
I was thinking of Rocky, that's all.
That's right. So, that's, anything else come before the board before we
Any updates on any structures that you can talk about?
We'll probably close on the GACI bond sometime towards the end of March, so that project will get started here shortly. Still working on the Millworks project. They're getting closer to their loan agreement closure, and then we'll probably start the bond on that. I'm working through the Danco deal, so I'll probably have something in the next couple months, which may, with the Danco, I think we're probably going to do a TIF expansion. I'm going to talk to Randy about how to tie that in. We have some other individuals that wanted a liquor license, but in order to have a liquor license and on the riverfront, you got to be in a economic development area. Well, the only economic development area that we can do is a TIF, so we'll have to expand that TIF to bring that property in. So I'm working on that, whether or not we combine the two districts. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm probably going to propose that we combine the northern TIF and the downtown district, so they'll just become one district. But I need to talk to Randy and think through that process before we go down that road. So a lot of things on the agenda in the next few months.
Do you think we'll need to meet a second time this month?
I don't think so, unless we want to kick that part off, so I need to get with Randy. I was waiting for Danco to give me the okay, which they did late last week. So I'll talk to Randy this week. If we feel like it's advantageous for us to start that process sooner than later, we can have a meeting in March. Otherwise, we'll just push it to the April meeting.
Jeremy, is Durbin Street, are they close to occupancy?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, probably end of March, I think, assuming they get all their ducks in a row.
Good, thank you.
I know that road, Aaron must have, they're talking about getting the road worked on.
Yeah, that's something
So
we
I
have
knew-
to do. There's some storm work that we need to do through there, so I know we're
I
we're
figured
working
it was
on that.
coming to fruition.
I think all their underground stuff is done, and they tied into our system, but where they tied in, there's some things that we need to do right now. We have a storm line that actually runs underneath a building that we need to get rid of and reroute, so. Yeah, it has for decades, probably.
I think I have one running under.
Yeah,
the house.
probably.
You think?
I do,
Yeah,
Sorry. Demolition.
under my garage.
yeah,
It's deep,
yeah.
but it still runs under the garage.
Well, if you ever have a sinkhole, you'll know where to find your garage.
No, leak took care of it for me years ago.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion to,
So maybe. Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn. By Mike? And
I guess everybody else wants to stay.
I guess so.
I'll second George. I don't want to intimidate you, so I'll second that.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, you didn't used to intimidate. You do now. All right. Thank you all for